Welcome to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. I'm, of course, Dr. Cush, along with my barback Kyle. I'm not a real doctor, but I did spend almost 2 decades running some of LA's best bars. After years of teaching classes and training bartenders, I want to demystify the cocktail world for you. Let's try a few new things as I open up my bar to everybody. Belly up, chat, and let's have a drink. Welcome, everybody. I realized I had not put my headphones in correctly. Welcome, everybody, to Dr. Cush's Exotic Drinks. Today, and most days, as it turns out, am Dr. Cush. We are here today on Thirsty Thursday to visit a cocktail that I like very much. I like it very much. It is very old. We're talking pre-1900s, this cocktail is. Imagine something that pre-1900s? Whew, it's an old one. It is called the Ward 8. It's coming out of Boston. Trigger warning for all of you that need trigger warnings. I don't know how many of you do, but I'm warning everybody with a trigger warning. There will be an attempted Boston accent tonight. So hopefully you guys are okay with that. It'll be mostly horrible. In fact, it'll be all horrible. Be the most ridiculous Boston accent you've ever heard, but it will be attempted. So if that kind of thing triggers you, I will give you the warning. We are making a cocktail tonight that is called the Ward 8, coming out of Boston. It is a great rye cocktail. We don't do a ton of rye cocktails here unless we're really dealing with the Manhattan. So hopefully that is going to make some people very excited about a whiskey drink finally coming into our exotic bar. That's all. I think that's what I have to say to you. I'm going to tell you sort of how it came to be, the man behind it, or at least the man it was named in honor of. His name wasn't Ward. I'll get into the whole thing. Let me say hello first to the people, though. Here is Shawnee Panabaker. He is here. Well. Drink looks nice, but where are the wings? So I will say, Shawnee P, if I ever do open up a brick and mortar bar, it will serve 3 things. It will serve cocktails, obviously. It will serve beer, mostly lagers. I'm a lager fan. Can we stop with the IPAs at some point? I don't want to be like, I don't want to be kicked off of the internet for saying that I don't care for IPAs, but it's mostly lagers. And it will serve the best gosh darn wings you've ever tasted, because why are chicken wings so hard to make in bars anywhere near me? They're horrible. So yes, we will have chicken wings, no doubt about it, Shawnee P. Here's Espen. He's hoping, praying they showed up on time. You are on time. I think that all Europe has changed their times to the daylight savings time now. I don't know. Either way, we are back. I think we're back synced with Espen. So we don't have to wake him up at 2 in the morning anymore. He gets to sleep an extra hour and wake up at 3 in the morning to watch this show. Here is Tiki Tom giving a what's up to all the boys, Shawnee and Moose. Let me introduce you to our newest patron. Stick around to the very end to see Amy Beer. Amy Beer is now well known at Dr. Cush's. Thank you, Amy, for being a patron. It does keep the bar going. The bar does not make money, but with your help, the bar isn't losing a lot of money. So that's good. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate all of my patrons. Amy is our newest one. Congratulations to me, mostly. And thank you to Amy. DC Debbie Clark is waiting. She goes everywhere quick. Winner of the 2023 Kush-Tucky Derby. She wants us to open. We are now open. Fret not. We are now open. Here is KT Kyle Tender. Some people call him Hollywood Kyle. I don't, but some people do. Drives me crazy. Here is our good friend Bootopia with a GE space A. Good evening, all. Paul, just yelling gibberish over there. Go Yukon Huskies over San Diego State. Absolutely. Go Yukon Huskies over San Diego State. I guess he's watching the basketball. Good over there. Go. Honestly, I don't care about San Diego State. Let's go Yukon Huskies. I'm a Yukon Husky fan now. My Trojans didn't even make it to the playoffs, and so thus basketball is dead to me. And it doesn't look like the Phoenix Suns are going to do that good either. So definitely dead. Here is our resident Gator, the UF mark coming out. Is the UF still? Are they still the fighting Gators still playing basketball? I don't know. DCW Clark loves a Boston accent. Probably loves a real Boston accent. I basically do an impression of Mayor Quimby from Simpsons and my grandmother, who was from Dorchester. So we'll see what you think of it. Dougie G came running in, kicked the door down. Did somebody say whiskey? I didn't say whiskey. I believe I said rye. I might have said whiskey. We'll check the tape. Never had a Ward 8 before, so I'm really looking forward to it, says Tiki Tom. Well, there you go. I think you might like it, Tiki Tom. This seems like a good drink for people that enjoy tiki things, Tiki Tom, and that enjoy whiskey, Tiki Tom. Amy agrees with me, does not care for IPAs. The problem with an IPA, and Amy agrees with me now. So anything that I say, Amy endorses. So anything after this that I say, Amy is with me. The problems with IPAs is if you mess up a beer, I have brewed beer a number of times in my life. I love brewing beer. If you mess up a beer really badly, you know how you can fix it? Throw a lot of hops into your beer. Just throw a ton of them. And you know what happens then? You get an IPA. So even if you have a really crappy base beer, you don't mind what the base beer tastes like at all. At the end, you just throw in all those hops and suddenly it tastes like you're just licking flowers that have some sort of pollen on them. And now that's your beer. I don't think so. Lagers, those are hard to make. You got to cool. You got to make a lager. What makes a lager? I'll tell you guys. What makes a lager is you make it in refrigerated, you ferment it in refrigeration. Very difficult to do. Got to get hearty yeast. And although they don't taste as big as other beers, I do think they take more experience and more technique and talent to make a lager. So don't just poo-poo a lager when you get it. Bootopia has had a couple of Ward 4s one time, very similar to the Ward 8. Technically, Bootopia, if you've had 2 Ward 4s, you have had a Ward 8. I think that's just math. That's just math. DC Debbie Clark also agrees with me. So now anything that I say from here on out, Debbie also endorses. So it is a party of 3 right now that is going to come out with all kinds of fun opinions about things because I now have your tacit endorsement. Let's get into this cocktail. This cocktail is called the Ward 8. It was named for a guy named Martin Michael Low Massey. It was named for a guy named Martin Michael Lomasney. Lomasney. We pronouncing that Lomasney? To be very honest, I've only ever read it. Created for a guy named Martin Michael Lomasney. Martin Michael Lomasney in Boston in the turn of from 1800 to 1900, in that turn of the century. He was a political boss. He was a guy that's basically he was basically a guy that could get you votes, right? He was like a popular dude that put on all kinds, he shook the hands, kissed the babies, patted the dogs, probably rode the bikes, probably washed the car. He did all that stuff in order to get your vote. And he was pretty darn good at it. Pretty darn good at it. So good at it that he was in fact shot. Not to death. He was not shot to death. He was shot in his leg. He was in Boston at this time. It was tough to be a political boss. These were tough political times to be a political boss. So this is a guy that sort of knew what he was doing. At one point, the same year that this cocktail was created, this was a cocktail created in 1898. This cocktail was created. He pulled a political stunt, and I love this political stunt, and I think we should do more of this. I think I try not to follow politics. I'm just not that interested in. I don't think that it's important that we are so into it. But if more politics was decided like this, I would say yes. Basically, what he did, he was working for the Democratic Party at this point in Boston. I don't think it means the same thing as it does now. I don't know. Anyway, he got everybody together. He got them to meet in East Boston. right? So now they're all meeting in East Boston. And there are two factions, and each faction wanted a different guy. Screw you, screw you. And Martin goes in there and goes, and here's, okay, trigger warning, here comes the accent. He goes, all right, Era, here is the deal. We are now in East Boston. In order to get your candidate to be the person that's going to be the representative of the Democratic Party, you have to decide who you want. And then, and only then, will you, Era, get into boats and row across the river. And once you get to the other side of the river, gone Australian. Once you get to the other side of the river, you will hand it off to a bike messenger. Definitely Australian at this point. And then from there, Era, you will ride your bike as fast as you can. And whoever gets to the office first, that's the person who will represent the Democratic Party. And that's how they won. It was won in a bike race. Come on, please. I think that's awesome. Anyway, right around that time, he was elected also to represent the 8th Ward of Boston. He won the whole thing. And a little bar that existed for a very long time, more than 100 years, a bar called Loch Ober, created a cocktail, very, very excited about our friend Martin winning. They created a cocktail in celebration called the Ward 8. The funny thing about this is Martin didn't drink. Martin, as they say, did not touch a drop of alcohol. He was not, he was what they call a teetotaler. Teetotaling, of course, not tea like mint, Moroccan mint, or chamomile. It's not that kind of tea. It's capital T, total abstention from drinking. T, capital T, total. I always thought both my grandparents, neither one of my grandparents drank. Even my Boston grandmother did not touch a drop of booze. I always thought teetotaler because every time we went out with them, they would drink iced tea. And I thought that they were just like, oh, they totally like tea. That's why they're teetotalers. Not the case, Scotty. Pack the cash, you would say. I was much too young at that point. So that's how this drink came to be. Created for a Boston guy that had fun tactics, made a bike race. I don't know why they don't still have that bike race in Boston. They should. Get in a boat, row it across the Era water, and that's who wins. That's how the drink came to be. Maybe I said too much. Anyway, let's get into this cocktail. A super easy cocktail to make, but a super easy cocktail to absolutely ruin. You can ruin this one real quick by not using the right ingredients. I love a good ingredient. I love a good ingredient, and the ingredients in this one are incredibly important. How important? So important that brought in one of Kyle's oranges. We need to have real good, delicious oranges, and we do have one of those. So let's begin. More than anything, guys, this is just a whiskey sour. This is just, it's the same build as a whiskey sour. We're replacing some of the normal lemon juice for orange juice, and we're replacing all of the sugar syrup for grenadine. So that's what we got going. Let's start over here with one of our world famous Dr. Kush's exotic oranges, grown by my barback himself, Kyle Helperton. You might know him better as Kyle Tender. Anyway, this right here is one of his oranges. Let's see how it looks. Oh, oh. It's a really good looking orange there, Kyle. Kyle, no notes. You've done it. We don't need much of this orange juice. Sorry, Kyle. We will eat the rest of this. We only need half an ounce of some fresh squeezed orange juice. Come on, guys. Does it take that much for this cocktail, especially to get fresh squeezed orange juice? It doesn't. Squeeze in half an ounce of some fresh squeezed orange juice. Wow. I don't want to give Kyle too big of a head. You know, I don't want him to be suddenly, we already call him, factions of you call him Hollywood Kyle already. I do want to say, though, that half an ounce, or that half an orange, gave me exactly half an ounce of orange juice. Dare I say, a perfect orange. Well done, Kyle. There we go. Half an ounce of orange juice. We also need, and this is going to put Kyle's kind of a small orange to shame. We also need a lemon. The lemon is, turns out, slightly larger than the orange, but that's okay, Kyle. The way that orange worked out, I don't think this lemon's going to do the same thing. So let's slice the nubbin right there. Cut that right there. Yeah, I mean, that's an okay looking lemon. Not quite as good as Kyle's orange. So Kyle, you have won today, pal. This orange, or this lemon was not pulled off of any of our trees. So we don't care that much. We need half an ounce of some lemon juice. It's too big for a lemon. There's too much juice in there. It was just too juicy. Throw it in here. Before we go too far, two of my favorite people have shown up. Let me say, first of all, hello to our good friend, Bonbon. Hello, Bonbon. Bonbon came running in. Let me know that Bonbon does, in fact, enjoy this accent. It is not good. For half of my entire family to have come from the great state of Massachusetts, there is no reason that I cannot do this accent. But here we are. This is the position we find ourselves in. Anyway, also, Low Carb Cocktail Guy is here. Hello, Low Carb Cocktail Guy. Good to see you, pal. Okay. Speaking of Low Carb Cocktail Guy, here's a high carb cocktail ingredient. This right here is grenadine. This is where you can make this drink go very badly. You need to use homemade grenadine. You got to use homemade grenadine. That's a very important part of this. So just make it. I think I probably have a video on it. If not, gosh, I think I have a video on it. I think I do. You can search my thing. If you need it to be low carb, hop on a low carb guy, low carb cocktail guy. But for me, here, don't worry about it. We need to put in a 1/4 ounce, just a light sprinkling, just a baby little pinch, a 1/4 ounce of some homemade grenadine. If you are making this with Rose's grenadine, you are going to hate this cocktail. I'm just telling you right now, if you're making it with high fructose corn syrup that has red dye number 5, red dye number 40, and no trace of pomegranate. Let me make sure before I slander them again. Let me just read the ingredients right here. High fructose corn syrup, water, citric acid, sodium citrate, sodium benzoate. That's a preservative. Don't worry about that. Red dye number 40. Oh, no red dye number 5. We're okay. Natural and artificial flavors, and blue 1. I don't know what the chemical compound is that makes up pomegranate, but I don't think it's any of those. So you want to use some real pomegranate for this cocktail. It's important. Bling. Next ingredient we need is some rye. You can use whichever rye you like. All right. This was given to me by a good friend of the show, Paul. He knows how to buy rye for cocktails. Paul absolutely knows how to buy rye for cocktails, and you should also know how to buy rye for cocktails. There are 3 little words you are looking for in buying rye for cocktails, and they are right here. Bottled in bond. Bottled in bond. Why is that? Because bottled in bond is going to come in at 100 proof. For cocktails, especially cocktails that have a lot of juice in them, you want to have a high proof whiskey. Not crazy high, but bottled in bond guarantees that we are getting 50% alcohol or 100 proof, and that is what we are making. There's an emergency going on. One sec. Dang. I put in all the wrong ingredients. Thank you, Bonbon. You have you have helped me out here. We need to put in just a touch more ingredients for everything. We're gonna reshoot this later. You need 3/4 of an ounce of some lemon juice. And you need 3/4 of an ounce. You need 3/4 of an ounce of some orange juice. Right there. You need 1/2 an ounce of some pomegranate grenadine. Okay. Oh. Bonbon is shaking hers right now. Bonbon, you can always add ingredients in later. You can't take them out. You can't take them out. What have I done at the top? There it is. Okay. Should we put 2 ounces into this? I don't think so. We have not. You need to put in 2 ounces. Let me get rid of this. You need to put in 2 ounces of a 100 proof rye whiskey. There we go. Utopia says, Evan Williams, bottle and bond works as well. Absolutely. What you are looking for when you're looking to sip on whiskey, you want to find something that you like, obviously. Whether you love high proof stuff, whether you love it just hitting that 80 proof, whatever you like, that's what you want to sip on, right? When you're making cocktails, you don't want to put in 80 proof anything. You want to put in 100 proof in the cocktail. Otherwise, you're not really going to be tasting that whiskey. It's going to sort of disappear, or else you have to put in so much of it that it becomes an issue. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for 80. We're looking for 100 proof whiskey. And give this a big old shake. Lots and lots of ice. And here we go. I don't want to give you guys spoilers. I've already given you a trigger warning. Spoilers. Bonbon thinks it's delicious. Spoiler alert. This is a delicious cocktail. There's a reason it has lasted this long. I mean, it's lasted more than 100 years. I mean, more than 125 years this cocktail is. So that's big time for a cocktail to still be lasting. So let's give this a big shake. Crack her open. We are going to serve this one up. Well, let me just see. Bonbon has 119% rye. I'm going to take a guess and say that is a 119 proof rye, which sounds awesome. If it's 119% rye, we have broken some sort of law of physics. I don't know which law it is. I think we're up to like 6 or 7 laws of physics. I think we might have broken that. Yeah, 120 proof rye in this cocktail will also do well. You'll taste a bit more of that whiskey burn, a bit more of that alcohol, and you'll be good. Just find something you like, but don't use the. This is something that in the more recent years of mine, I have found that the only real way to make a great whiskey cocktail is to at least get that bottled and bond 100 proof. Pour this in. Any comments about the wash line? Look at this guy. Boom! Right to the freaking top. I love it. This one deserves a cherry. since I had to use a little bit more of Kyle's orange than I wanted to, we'll use a cherry instead. Cherry or orange is acceptable in this cocktail. We're going to throw, oh, let me put this in like this. We're going to throw our cherry right there. The animal that I've chosen for this cocktail, I'll bring in animal cam, is a bear, obviously, for the hockey team, the Boston hockey team, the Boston Bruins. A Bruin is, of course, a baby bear, a tiny baby bear that in football gets beaten every year by Trojans. That's the kind of bear that is. It's a baby. It's a Bruin. Shawty Panabaker, I definitely like Bullet, and the flavor did come through for this one. Boom. Love it. Love that. Love to hear it. Okay. This is, here, you know what? I'm going to put him on screen real quick. I think it's important that we all see who this guy is. We'll drink with him. This right here is Martin Lomasny, whatever the heck it is. His name is Martin Lomasny. And if you guys do want to follow him, I just found out that he does actually have a Twitter account with the very ominous message right down here that says, "I'm back." So he's been dead for like he's been dead for at least 80 years. Anyway, to Martin, to all Boston politicians that aren't horrible, cheers to all those guys. Oh, come on. It's so, with the right ingredients, this is a marvel of science and nature coming together. With the wrong ingredients, this is an abomination upon which I would not wish to all of the bad politicians out in Boston. This is a very lovely drink. Big fan, delicious. It seems like a lot of you were able to make this right along with us, so that's nice. Top 3 cocktail. Oh, here, this is a fun little tidbit. Paul has got his top 3 cocktail ryes: Rittenhouse, Old Forester 100, and Jack Daniel's Bonded Rye. I have not gotten into the Jack Daniel's Bonded Rye too deeply. However, I did sell. These are my, I got these Jack Daniel's. These are Caricos, they're called, or tins, but they're the brand Carico. And these are Jack Daniel's Rye. It's hard to see them, but they are rye. And it was the Bonded Rye. Did a whole class on that stuff many moons ago. I would say 10 years ago. Gosh, maybe 8 years ago. Cheers. Yeah, gosh, that's delicious. Boy, is that really nice. Again, you can screw this cocktail up so fast by seeing that it says, you need lemon juice, orange juice, and grenadine. And instead of really taking the time to, make the grenadine, find an orange, find a lemon. If you're just going to go out and get like squeezy lemon, or if you're just going to get like canned or bottled orange juice, like they say, you're going to have a bad time. You're going to have a bad time with this cocktail. This is a great cocktail if you do it nice and fresh. Cool. Let me do this before we go too far. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to then thank me back for producing this video, one way you can do it is, maybe 5 ways you can do this. Like, subscribe, comment, share, and push the bell button and follow along. Because just like our friend Jay Souther right here, who just showed up right now, he doesn't push the bell for the show. If he did push the bell, then he would have known the moment I started what he would have missed. But we love Jay anyway. If you push that bell, a little bell dings every time I go live, and then you're there. Okay. Hey, buddy, how are you? Hey. And that's the show. So it goes do 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 do. Okay. Oh gosh, Bon says, "Hey Jay, you missed the best cocktail in many years." Oh my gosh, that's a lot to say. Thank you, Jay. Jay will, guys. Jay will push the bell, but Jay is here. Jay, you don't have to, but it'd be nice if you did. Just, it's just nice to have more people. It's nice to have Jay in here. I was noticing a distinct lack of Jay moments ago, and now we have Jay, and my life feels complete. So just more for me than anything else, Jay. Hit that button, and all of you, hit that bell. Okay. Oh, he was already part of it. Sorry, Jay. Listen, I didn't mean to call you. It just you showed up right at the time I was telling people. Okay, that's my friend is that is the cocktail. I'm glad that you guys seem to really like this one. Yeah, you guys seem to really like this one. I like that. This is a very old cocktail. I know that it is not tiki, but we really only do. I'm trying to only do tiki on Tuesdays. Otherwise, we're going to run out of tiki at some point. I mean, it seems like it's a well that goes on forever and ever. Turns out, at some point, we're going to have to figure something else out. So we're doing tiki on Tuesday. So we're doing sort of these classics on Thursday, or whatever experiments we want to do. We're doing those Thursday, and then on Saturday, of course, we do the big class where I either bring on some guests. I clearly the guests seem to work very well, so I'll be looking for more guests or experiments, or just picking a theme and really hitting it hard. So that's what we have for you guys coming up. I will be live tomorrow with my friend Tammy. If you guys want to watch over at youtube.com/mix cocktail hour, that starts at 6. It's same time as this one. So whatever time that means to you guys, 6 here. Starts at 6. We'll be live with Tam. We'll be making Easter cocktails, and there will be a surprise guest. Now, I don't know how many of you will know this surprise guest, but for a lot of people, this is a big deal. So show up tomorrow, see who our surprise guest will be. And I think that's it. Who found Tammy? That's a good point. I don't know. I actually went bowling with Tammy a couple days ago. It was fun. Tammy is a very fun bowler. If not a great bowler, she's a fun bowler. But she is back. Yeah, Kyle probably found her. That's exactly right. Jay Southern has guessed the spoiler. The surprise guest is the Cadbury Bunny. Jay, let me say, you're not too far off. You are not too far off. But wait until tomorrow to find out who the special guest is. It will be, I think, at least it'll be fun. That is what I have for you guys tonight. Love that you guys are enjoying the classics. We will continue to make classics, but we will also be doing classes Tuesdays, which is Tiki Tuesdays, Thursdays, which is Thirsty Thursdays, and Saturdays, which is the longest running class that we have here. And that is sort of a grab bag of all the stuff. And please, in the words of the famous Jay Souther, check the bell, my friends. And don't forget to like this and subscribe. And if you're talking, you're subscribed. And don't forget to comment. A quick comment always helps. That's what I got for you guys. How about we hang out again on tomorrow? I seem deep Eastern European when I say that. How about we hang out tomorrow, mixed cocktail hour, and then we'll be back here on Saturday for a nice long class where we will talk about whatever the heck we want to talk about. That's what I got for you guys. Until next time, what do we always say? We always say, gosh darn it, I wish I had set up this board before we did this, because now it's going to take me a second to get the soundboard going. And then right after that, we always say it's not working. We always say bye-bye. And that's what we say. So until then, bye-bye.
This is the way we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
Goodbye. Are you Dr. Jinga Janga? Bye!